Welcome to Company Showcase, an advertising feature on HowStreet.com.
I'm Jim Goddard. I'm speaking with Larry Reaugh, CEO and President of American Manganese. Welcome back to the show, Larry.
Thanks, Jim.
Larry, you've received some pretty good news from the U.S. What was it?
Well, that's a real coup for the company, and it brings us a lot of credibility. We are basically in partnership with them on a recycling program with their labs in the U.S., and that's with the DOE and a couple of U.S. national labs, Critical Metals Institute and Ames labs, and some leading universities. So, we wouldn't be involved as a Canadian company, or for that matter, as a private company, unless there was we had something really good to offer the works, and we do. We've got a process for recycling batteries, and we'll be working with them on a recycling solution. This is a several-year program that basically we contribute our share by sweat equity, so it's not costing us anything. But I can tell you, it's costing a few $1 million to do that study, and we'll be solving multiple problems. The problems of material headed for landfills or to smelters for burning, a circular economy sustainable circular economy that puts nothing back into the environment, and we're providing a new source of supply for some of the highest demand metals and minerals during the 21st century technology, and that's a huge plus. I mean, if you can take the cobalt, lithium, and the nickel, manganese, and aluminum and put them back, because our process will actually bring out a product that is battery grade, and you can put them back into the batteries. That's a huge plus. Now, battery grade, what does that mean? All our numbers are worked on as just the metal price, and this is actually says that we can put it back with enhanced value, and I know that in cobalt that's at least 50%. I'm not sure. There's no numbers on that. It's not exactly well published out there, but there's a premium for that because it's a big plant that has to treat these chemically and bring them up to battery grade. So it's not a cheap shot. It's expensive, and that adds to the cost of the battery. So AMY's process makes commercial sense, environmental sense, ethical sense, and I think the markets are going to see that after this press release. We're getting manufacturers a chance to get their cobalt and from recycled batteries, not from conflict minerals from the Congo, where most of it comes from. This is a huge plus for the company. Now we'll be moving ahead with the labs. That doesn't mean that our MOU is not standing up in the Netherlands. We'll continue with that because they've got a nice process for actually treating the batteries and shredding them and being able to deliver them to us, where we get high content of recovery, and of course we still can get the 99.9% purity, which is what you need in battery grade. So this is, I think it's 99.6, but that's close enough. So it tells you that people are taking notice of AMY's process, that now we are going national on that with the involvement with the U.S. labs. And you have to remember that there's not many private companies that do deals with the U.S. lab, and certainly far less Canadian companies. So, yeah, we're very proud of that achievement, and we got our man in Washington D.C. It's Dan McGordy, who's worked hard on this, and and I have to compliment him. and the rest of the team. Certainly, everything is falling into place for the company. You know, we haven't had any, except for technical issues, we haven't had any backwardation on this particular property, or the intellectual property, our process for recycling the batteries. So there's a lot to say for the people that work on this, is they're doing a good job. And certainly Kemetco does a good job. They do a good job of developing the technology and a good job of papering it up for patent application. So, you know, so all I can say is that's a real large turning point for the company. I imagine after international recognition like this, or national recognition like this, we will be even more in demand for people to investigate our process. So that's where I'm going to end it. It's on an up note. It's on a Friday. The stock has traded a pretty good volume of stock in the last couple of days, and it's all to do with the press release. The last thing I'd like to mention is we're closing on $350,000 on the third tranche in our private placement. And again, in this market, that's a big plus. That takes us up to just near $1 million. And we've already got, the first 20% of the next, more than 20% of the next tranche spoken for. So we'll get it done. 1.5 million, maybe a little over. And, but it hasn't been easy. You know, there seems to be a concerted effort to keep the stock down, so that makes it difficult to complete the private placement. But we'll just keep plugging away. I mean, we got nothing but good news, and so that only helps the financing.
Larry, for people who are new to American Manganese, what are you all about?
We're a critical metals company that developed technology back in 2009 to 2011 with Kemetco for the treatment of ultra-low grades of manganese that's competitive with the costs of Chinese production. The grades that we treated were 2 to 3%. The Chinese production grades are 30 to 50%. So that was a breakthrough, and that's our cornerstone for our recycling. So it wasn't like we just stumbled on this overnight. This has been a long time coming, and it's getting close to 10 years of hard work to get to this point. But here we are.
Larry, for more information and where are you traded information, where can people go?
Okay, we're traded on the Toronto Venture Exchange under the symbol AMY. We're traded in the U.S. under the symbol AMYZF. And we're traded in Frankfurt under the symbol 2AM. You can go to our website at AmericanManganeseInc.com for all the information that I talk about on this radio show. Most of it's on there. And you can reach me at 778-574-4444, or you can email me at LREAUGH@AMYMN.com.
Larry, thank you so much for the update.
You're welcome.
My guest has been Larry Reaugh, CEO and President of American Manganese. I'm Jim Goddard. Our conversation took place on March 29th.
Comments made on Company Showcase are an expression of opinion only and should not be construed in any manner whatsoever as recommendations to buy or sell any financial instrument at any time. Archived online at HowStreet.com. Company Showcase is a production of How Street Media Incorporated.